Welcome back to the Dump and Chase podcast. Rebecca and Logan here in the studio, joined by Flyers defenseman Dylan Parshall.
What is cracking?
You can hear.
Can you hear?
Oh yeah, we can hear.
Loud and clear.
Beautiful.
Good deal.
Still don't know how the phone systems work 3 years later, but it's fine. We'll figure it out.
That's what we're all about here, is figuring stuff out.
One day at a time.
Yep.
Pushing buttons, we'll figure it out. So, since you've been on God knows how many times, Dylan, we're going to do it a little bit differently. I have some games I kind of want to recap, and then some questions that I kind of just want to bounce off you. Maybe we'll add them into the rotation. We'll see what your thoughts are. And then obviously,
For sure.
Logan, if you have any questions, or towards the end, Dylan, if you have any.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'd like to formally introduce myself for the second time, Dylan. I know we haven't really gotten to talk that much, but I say your name a lot, so I guess that has to count for something, right?
Oh, hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, you got a very calming and very good radio voice, and very good mannerisms on the, with the whole videos. I like it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Just made for it.
Thank you. Means a lot.
Brought a tear to his eye.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
So the first game I want to recap, kind of throwing it back to last semester, the University of Michigan series. I know it technically wasn't a series. It was only one game because the outdoor game was canceled.
Yeah, that was tough.
But unfortunately, you guys lost that one. Kind of just give us a little recap about what happened, if you can remember that game. I know it was a while ago.
Yeah, no, that was it was kind of just there was a lot of things that went into it. Honestly, I think we kind of went in like, oh, they're not in our conference. We're gonna be okay. Like, can't be like that much worse. Or we're like, oh, we're about ready to go on break. I mean, there was a lot of things that went on, but yeah, and they were really good and they were really big. They were very physical. Something that our league is still pretty tough, but something that we don't face too often. And they were relentless, and let me tell you, they were solid. They had some good players, a lot of AAA guys, so good for them. It was a good series. Kind of sucked about the outdoor game. It was Ernie's last game, which was tough. But
was that one canceled because of the weather, I take it?
It was the ice was so bad. We got off the bus and people were literally like, you guys are college? We're like, yeah. They're like, you guys are playing here? We're like, yeah. They're like, that's not safe at all. We went and checked out the boards and there was like an 8-foot by 6-inch.
So it was canceled after you were already there?
Oh yeah. The game time, we were like 15 minutes from like official puck drop and we weren't even in locker rooms yet. Then they made the call though. The refs did.
So this was in Michigan then?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And so you played University of Michigan. Now was that other game at Yost?
No, they the big shots were playing that night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and my contract says I have to play at Lewis, and I can't go play for my real team.
I mean, well, so did you just play at some other rink up there, or?
Yeah, we did. We played at actually, I did not know it beforehand, but I played there quite a few times. It's like a big tournament rink. I can't remember the name of it. I want to say Canton Farms, but I don't know if that's right.
Okay. And forgive me, where did you play before Lewis? I'm uninformed over here, so.
I bounced around in the USPHL. Started in the Dells. Was there for I can't even remember the months. We'll just say 6 for ease. So yeah, August to. I was there for about 5 months.
Okay.
And then I was like loaned/traded to a team in Minnesota to play a bunch of games because we had like 31 guys and I never made the lineup because I was trash compared to my team. And then at break, like at New Year, when we went for New Year's break, I ended up staying home because the trade went through and I got traded to the Cougars where I played with Bishop. and finished out there. Had a good run. Went 6 games. First 2 playoff series, went into 3 games in overtime. Like all of them, it was tough. And then we lost in the 3rd game. So we played a lot of extra games, which was kind of fun.
Okay. And so you spent about, a year in the USPHL?
Yeah, a year.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it was tight. It's fun.
So the next series I want to talk about is the Roosevelt Series. You guys split with them, winning the first one 6-5 and then losing the second one 6-7 in overtime. Just kind of recapping that, kind of what was going on in the locker room after that overtime loss.
Oh, that stung so much. It's technically not a conference game, so really, technically, we don't have to do a shootout or an overtime. But we had an absurd amount of penalties that we ended up giving them the game back pretty much. And, credit to them. They had 9 guys, 11 guys. They ended up winning, and it was just really tough because it was in our hands and we just couldn't finish.
And that loss in overtime was Christian's first game, correct?
His first
start.
Start,
he's played.
I guess I should say at home anyway.
Yeah, at home, yeah.
Okay.
Because he played in the second Marquette game. Was there another game he played at or played in?
I think he's played in 4, but you got to understand that I am a dinosaur. I'm ready to be a fossil at the end of the weekend. So I lose track of a lot of these games and who plays.
That's understandable. I mean, there's
especially with our goalies. I feel like we switch off a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of games over a short amount of time, and they all start to, even just for me, trying to remember who you're currently playing is sometimes a struggle.
Yeah, right.
So.
I know. Over the years, I hit my 100th game in Indiana. So, and then 100. Thank you. And then 105 if you count the All-Star games.
I forgot those were.
So, it was. God, that was so fun. Me, Nick, Ernie, and Bishop. ECHA Division II All-Stars. I think so, yeah. 3 years. Yeah, sophomore year.
Where was that game at?
Oh, it was 5, and it was in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Not that I'm going to take a gamble here and say that we don't have a lot of people from Pennsylvania that are listening right now, and I'm just going to say it. I don't like that state.
I mean, Reed's a Pennsylvanian now, isn't he?
He is, yep.
Well.
All right, well, Reed, if you're listening to this, dude, get out. You drive through mountains and stuff. It's really, it smells really weird. The Chipotles are horrible.
The Chipotles, did you say?
Yeah, the Chipotles are horrible.
That's pretty random.
Yeah, and just a side note, I wouldn't know, because,
don't you
but
not
they
Chipotle?
have. Oh no, I love Chipotle.
Oh, then I'm thinking of someone else then.
I hate tacos though. I hate authentic Mexican food.
What about Qdoba? That's my standard question.
I love Qdoba.
Thank you.
Qdoba's really good. The rice is kind of. I get the brown rice though.
Okay.
But the brown rice is horrible compared to Chipotle.
The queso.
Queso, vastly superior.
Mm-hmm.
Got a food critic over here. Have you heard Parshall's soup rant?
His what?
His soup rant.
Soup rants.
Oh, God.
I've talked to
It's
Dylan,
so
I think, like I said, one time before this. So
I'm surprised you. This is a. I'll make it a little short for you. What's your favorite soup?
I can't say that I like any soup, but if I had to pick one, I'd probably say broccoli cheddar.
Okay, perfect. Go have mac and cheese and broccoli. Make yourself violently ill, throw up in the toilet, and tell me you're not just eating vomit when next time you have that soup. It's disgusting. I can't do it. Soup is gross. It's like, just
that.
eat solid food. Just eat salad. Just, if you want chicken noodle soup, have pasta and chicken. Don't be weird.
Here's a question. Do you eat chili or no?
Ew, I don't know. I don't like beans. Beans are disgusting too. I'm not like very picky, but like certain things like certain food groups I just can't get into.
I had to tend to agree with you on soup. I'd much rather have some solid food than some blenderized.
Oh my god,
something. I don't
even know. You guys ever heard of Fat Ricky's?
Love Fat Ricky's.
Yeah, be careful what you're saying about Fat Ricky's here before.
Holy cow! That is the best place in the whole entire world. They should sponsor the podcast because it is my fuel.
I'm in.
Get the Ugly Joe and say that Dylan sent you.
I think I actually have gift cards to Fat Ricky's. I might have to come here next week a little early and stop.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Get the Ugly Joe.
I haven't had
prosciutto, capicola, provolone, little Italian herbs, some mayonnaise.
I'm just getting hungry.
I know. I went there and did my homework. Did some discussion posts.
Oh, I don't miss doing those.
Yeah, that's can't wait for that to be over.
Yeah,
can't wait. It's going to be so tight.
Get to enter the real world. Let me tell you, it is so fun. I hate
Oh, no, I'm going back to school. I just don't think we do discussion posts.
Even better.
Little did you know, it's going to be all discussion posts when you go back.
I swear to God, if I go to Cairo school and there's more than 10% of my work being discussion posts, I will literally drop out and find a different medical profession.
Where are you going for Cairo school?
As of right now, like 90% just have to hear back from like the board after they go over like my official transcript or like my transcript that I sent in. But National University in Lombard. I'm going to go visit Logan in the 25th of February. And yeah, I think I'm just going to go to National, live in Lombard, be super close, go to the quick trip that they're putting in. What's that?
I said living in Lombard. It's a riot.
Do you live there?
I do.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. I work there.
Oh, yeah, you work at Fusion, right?
Yeah, Physical Fusion.
Do you happen to, like, train a soccer team there?
Not a soccer team, but I train a couple soccer players. Can't say their names for,
But my brother does
reasons.
training there, so I was wondering
really?
I could talk to you and make him cry. But
oh, I won't make him cry, but I'll definitely bully. No, I'm kidding.
You have my full permission
I'll say
to
hi.
bully him.
No, I won't do that. But I've only seen like one. No, they just started up, didn't they?
Yeah, I think this is
Again.
the third week.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
It's like Thursday night.
I haven't been going. I normally go in the morning. I'm normally there at like 6:30 or 6:30 to 10, Monday through Friday.
So is this like a gym or is this like a cross training thing or what's going on with this?
Yeah, it's a gym / it has a gym with a turf on it, so it's like a multi-purpose sports performance-based facility with multiple sports performance trainers and sports science experts.
It sounds like you were just reading a commercial right there for them.
Right? Isn't that tight?
That's actually a
I was listening to the
ad.
WLRA thing on the way in here, and it's like the college radio. I was just thinking about how that's going to be what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop out of Cairo school if there's too many discussion posts. Now I'm just going to do like voiceover.
Voiceovers are where it's at.
And tell me that is not perfect.
It is a pretty good voiceover voice. I will give you that.
I forget what you said at the golf outing when I had you mic'd up. You said something, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna need that for my demo reel."
Oh man, for the Lulu thing.
That might have been it. Yeah, I just remember you saying something, and you turned to me, and you're like, "I'm gonna need that."
Yeah, that I get in a certain pitch, and I can't stop it from flowing. Too good.
I will say you give some great mic'd up content.
I'm trying to do my part,
really contribute to the broadcast team.
Also, if I am going to cough, sneeze, or drink water, so I don't sound like a psychopath, I'm going to press my mute button here while making a continuous noise, and tell me if it cuts out. Actually, not continuous. I'm just going to talk. Did it just cut out right there?
It did just cut off.
Nice. Just so we got that down.
Because you don't have the cough button like we do.
No, but I got that mute button, son.
I never use the cough button, if we're going to be honest with ourselves. Like, I just turn it off. Not that I barely ever sit on this side of the desk, so it's like...
I'm usually sitting over where you are, and Reed's sitting here. I don't know how I feel about this.
Oh, man. I could just picture it. I could visualize it.
Yeah,
that's tight.
I haven't been on this side of the board in like 2.5 years. It's kind of weird. Not gonna lie.
Welcome to the other side.
Welcome to the dark side, Rebecca.
You're in the dark side. That light
I know.
work.
Well, Dylan, you're missing out. Half the lights in here are off. I think the
perfect.
bulb is
Nice
burnt
and
out or
zen.
something, so it's nice and
I'd be
relaxed
passed out. I took my Ollie Muscle Recovery Sleep Gummies from Target. If any of you guys want to go there and get them, they're tight. They have like cherries in them, like tart cherry extract.
Like cherry
Pretty
flavor
good.
Or like cherries?
No,
like
tart cherry. Yeah, just like the extract of tart cherry, antioxidant.
And you said they're at where was that again? That you said they're at
Target.
That's not what you said though. You said
Target. Oh yeah.
The upscale.
Popular. It's a hot topic.
I guess.
It's a hot topic.
Whatever floats your boat, man. I'm not one to judge.
Generally, water.
Oh jeez.
You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Do you guys have Peacock?
I do not.
Do
you guys like The Office?
I don't.
I did watch The Office when it was on Netflix.
Okay. Peacock has the extended cut version. So much better. So much better. It's a complete TV show now. Fills in all the holes. Like peanut butter.
Did you just say like peanut butter?
Yeah, it fills in all the holes like in bread. Like no matter what happens, if there's a hole and you put peanut butter on it, it's completely filled.
Okay.
That is an interesting comparison.
But it flows in the conversation, but you guys questioned it, so now we're spending more time on what should have...
I didn't question anything. I was just...
I want to make sure I heard you right.
Fine. I'll get over it.
Okay.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're not going to dwell on that.
We got on like a incredibly long tangent.
It's entertaining. Who cares?
We started on the Roosevelt games, and now look at where we're at. Peanut butter.
Gotta love it. As Reed said, it's always the time when Parshall's on.
Yeah, it's all right. I kind of just let her flow.
I mean, that's what it's all about here in radio, right? Just letting it flow.
You're not wrong.
Well, anyway, I guess that's where to get back on track. You just talked about the Roosevelt games. Not to step on your toes, Rebecca, and
take it away,
sit
Logan.
in the driver's seat, but
new co-host question mark?
Indiana Tech had a couple games against those guys.
Yeah.
I think we can pretty much just leave it at that.
Yeah. I mean, there were some good things that came out of it. Like everybody worked really hard. Everybody kind of like fell into their own spot. Like played not like super continuous. Like we struggle a lot. Like we'll play like 2 really solid periods, but the one bad period will just end us for the game. But like there was a lot. I think we had the weekend. I think we had 7 different goal scorers. So that's cool.
You scored, right? In the VOA game?
Yes, I did, I think. I know I did in the away game. I can't remember who it was in the home game, too. I don't think so. I think it was just Roosevelt.
Selman scored the lone goal for the home game.
Oh, yeah. No, that was for sure. For sure. The other one.
If I remember.
Oh no, you know what? I'm thinking
of
what's Roosevelt with the 9 different goal scorers or whatever. Schnikes. Sorry, guys. I recant that. Go back in and edit it.
I mean, I was going off the ACHA website, and half the names are wrong, half the roster's wrong. So.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? We have had so much trouble with that. It's been absurd. Like, we couldn't, like, we were, like, locked out of the system. I remember in North Carolina, like, in the airport, we were, like, trying to get, like, all this paperwork done that was done but not done correctly, and it was just, it's a big cluster. That's one thing that I'm not going to miss is that stuff about hockey. Yeah, paperwork, bureaucratic stuff, signing babies' foreheads. You know, the usual.
The usual hockey player life, right, Dylan? That's
right. Just kidding. I'm never signing babies' foreheads.
In their arm, maybe, not their forehead.
Yeah, true. You got me there.
Shaking hands, kissing babies, right? That's
amen to that.
That's what it's all about. But yeah, it looks like you had 6 goal scorers against Roosevelt, if I have my notes correctly. It looks like you, Sharp, Selman, Candrel, Ligas, and Bishop were the goal scorers.
That's a solid spread. That's a solid spread.
That is, man. Really getting the whole lineup involved.
3 and 3. Yeah, 3 and 3. Both D pairings.
Yep.
And then we had line 3 and line 2 and line 1 all score goals. Like, that's tight.
It is really. I mean, it's really nice to see the whole, like I said, the whole bench getting involved in the offensive prowess. There.
And they missed a couple assists from some other guys out there. I'm pretty sure that one of the freshmen got a point. I think Logan got a point too. That not a goal, but a point. So a lot of people were getting active. And I think that's what I noticed a lot on the latter half of the year is that we have a lot deeper we have a lot more guys. As we have like guys like filling suspensions, all that kind of stuff. We have a lot of guys filling in. It's good to see for next year.
Yeah, I know we've talked about it a little bit, just kind of going from those first couple games where it was kind of those same guys scoring, and now it's like half the team scoring each game.
Yeah, I mean. It's definitely making. I mean, it's definitely adding some W's and some points to our columns, which is nice. But yeah, a little late, but at the end of the day, it's not really what matters. It's next year that matters at this point, and we're going to finish out strong. All the old guys are going to retire nice and happy. And it's going to be a good time.
Speaking of retiring, you have the senior night coming up this Friday.
I do.
Do you have any scouting reports on Notre Dame, or not quite yet?
Not quite. Normally, honestly, tomorrow and Wednesday is more that kind of deal. And like right before the game, we'll go over some like quick little notes. But, yeah, we don't really have a scouting report. But I do have a scouting report that I'm going to have a lot of family at the game. I'm going to have my mom, my grandma, my dad, my sister, her roommates. My dad's staying at the house, which is electric. me and Mr. Dave.
You're going to hear
he calls me Dylan Jimmy.
Lot. He called you what?
He calls me Dylan Jimmy. It's funny. Because my middle name is James. James. I didn't understand. I put 2 and 2 together. It's pretty dumb of me, but put 2 and 2 together a couple years ago. So why does he call me Dylan Jimmy? And I was like, oh my God. Nickname of James, idiot. So.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I found out cats make noises last year, so you're fine.
Oh yeah, cats are loud.
What?
You're giving me this look, Logan.
My past cat.
I don't know if you
know
that I'm hard of hearing,
Meatball.
so I can't hear half the noises. So I didn't realize they made noises.
Is it like a frequency thing, or is that is that dumb?
No, it's a frequency thing, yeah.
Oh my God, that is so not weird, but that is so fascinating. That is so fascinating.
So I lived with one of my best friends, so every time a noise would go off, she'd look at me and be like, "Did you hear that?" And I'm like, "No. What just happened? What's happening?"
Wow. You would have heard my dead cat Meatball, super tight. Rest in peace to Meatball. He was the backbone of the Parshall family. We're struggling. We're really not struggling, but he was a backbone of my life. And he had the most like deafening scream of a meow. Like it was a howl. He howled.
I'm curious to know.
I know how to do it. I can pretty much match it. But I'm confident that there would be subwoofers blown if people are listening in their car.
A couple car speakers blown out.
I'll do it to you guys at the game. It's so funny. It is so funny.
I'm looking forward to it, honestly.
That'll be the game intro, just Dylan meowing, and then
that'll be the pregame.
It's not even a meow. You won't even sound like a meow. It doesn't even remotely resemble a meow. It's a scream.
Even better.
It is hilarious.
Well, I'm looking forward to that.
I guess I don't know. I also can't hear anything. I should wear hearing aids, but I never wear them. So I literally can't hear anything, so I can feel you on not knowing that
going
cats
on?
don't
Dude, we're all
make noise.
Wow.
Great.
Well, that's why we're in broadcasting. We all wear headphones. We don't have to. We don't even have to mess with it.
One of the first questions I ever got asked is, "How are you gonna do radio?" And I was like, "Well, we have headphones. Like I have a volume control." I'm like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah.
Like,
it's like permanent headphones. Yeah, they have Bluetooth, right?
Yeah, but like I can't use
Bluetooth
with our board.
I'll get a better Bluetooth setup then.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
I'm gonna email Dr. Livingston.
Hey, Dr. Livingston is a hockey fan. He does
Get out
this.
Of town. Are you kidding?
Well, he does this thing on Thursdays, which I'm sure you watch every Thursday. It's called Conversations from Stritch. Again, he does it with the guy.
I get those emails.
Right.
I delete them right away.
Well, no, he does them with the guy who sends out the emails, the provost, and he was like, or this past week, he's like, oh yeah, the hockey team has their senior night next Friday, and
okay,
I was very excited to hear him say
Way
that.
to go, Dr. L. That's my guy. I'm gonna definitely watch that.
Up?
Honestly, he normally does, or not normally, but I have seen him before.
I don't think I've seen him at a game.
I've seen him at my games before when I was like a freshman. Oh God! I switched AirPods and hold on, it will work.
Well, I think the hockey team was the only team that got a shout out from Dr. Livingston on Conversations from Stritch. So I know Mr. John Kilpatrick is a big hockey fan too. So we've got lots of.
This is news to me.
Well,
it is also news to me.
Wow.
I'm happy though. That's tight. We should bring him in. Let him see the locker room.
Dude, I haven't even seen the locker room yet.
You haven't seen the locker room?
No,
if
and
we film.
Oh yeah, we gotta bring you in there. Senior.
That's where we'll film it.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I've literally been going to that rink for 15 years, and I've never been in there. So.
Oh yeah, no, we gotta get you in there ASAP.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's a good setup.
I've seen pictures, and it's cooler now than it was even when the Bulldogs had it.
Oh my! It's totally unrecognizable from when the Bulldogs had it.
Yeah,
I always forget. Do you know Sharpie played for the Bulldogs back in the day?
Did he really?
Yeah.
The Bulldogs were so stretched for people, they tried to get me to come play for them.
There you go.
And I was playing House League at the time.
Oh, there you go. You should have done it.
So, and paid $10,000 to play half the season and not play, probably.
No, maybe not that then.
Yeah.
For a game, though.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It would have been fun, but probably not worth it for me anyway.
My buddy played there too. My old captain. He used to beat people's faces in. Holy cow!
Who was it?
Wow. Eric Arrigo.
Yeah, I know Eric. He runs the hockeyroughshop.com, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him very well actually.
Really?
Yeah, I've rapped with him a whole bunch of times.
Yeah, no, he's my old captain. I've been over to his house a couple times. Good guy.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Great hockey player.
Yeah, he did that Red Bull crashed ice thing for a while then, too.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know if he's still doing that, though.
I haven't seen anything about that, but if he was, that'd be tight.
Yeah, I've just ordered some things from his website, and then he always signs his nice little card that he puts in there.
Yeah, he does. He just got new ones, too.
Oh, that's funny.
Small world of the hockey world.
It is a small world. I'll tell you that. Every time I go anywhere, I always recognize someone from the ice rink. And my dad does too. My dad's been playing for probably almost 30 years, and so everywhere he's like,
really?
I played with that dude 20 years ago. I'm like, how do you even? I can't even remember like who I played with yesterday. Like, how are you remembering these people from 20 years ago?
That's incredible.
It is. I don't know how he does it. He remembers their face but not their name. So he'd be like,
that I could see. I could see.
He'll remember some weird fact about him though, like, oh, he had this kid who graduated from here and is doing this, but he won't remember his name. So I don't know. It's a
perfect.
Weird...
Hey, there you go. That's a good conversation starter though.
Absolutely, yeah.
I hear you on that.
So here's a question that I'm just gonna throw at you right now. So when your playing career at Lewis comes to an end, am I gonna be able to drag you into the world of officiating?
I'm going to probably take a hiatus from frozen ice sports, just because it's going to be a tough transition. But yeah, I used to do it. I used to ref back when reffing was first 12 years old. I was like one of the youngest refs in Illinois, because the year after I was 12, they made it like 16 again, but I was grandfathered in. So I used to ref back in the day, but 12-year-old reffing used to get yelled at a lot. I didn't like it. So
yeah,
and now it's tough. I like hockey, but I don't like the reffing part of hockey, You
just like playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
I like preparing for the games and all that jazz.
Yeah. I mean, it is definitely, you get a different side of the game for sure.
Oh, yeah. That I do remember.
Yeah, I actually, not to tell my own story, but I reffed the Aurora game. They played ISU. I actually reffed both their games over the weekend. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And so that was an experience. But on Saturday, there was only 2 of us out there. So that, again, was an experience.
That's horrible.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty awful. And
it's a lot of skating.
It is a lot of skating, and there's a lot of people that are doing a lot of yelling at you, and it's like I don't know what you want me to do, man. I'm trying
you're doing
my best.
2 jobs at once.
Yeah, and so
literally
that was an experience, but we got through it, and it makes you a better referee.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Let's not do that again.
Yeah, that's my thought exactly.
Were you just short on refs, or?
Well, so we had a full crew, but a couple guys had COVID, so they canceled it, and they couldn't find anyone to fill the spots.
Of course.
And then I'm like, are we just going to do, like, I don't know. I mean, I've never done a 2-man college games. I mean, we did.
Did you band it?
I mean, we were both. Refs and linesmen. So
that's true. Yeah.
It would have been easier if we could have found like a linesman, and then me and the other guy could have banded it. But
perfect.
I mean, we're trying to call icings, and then we're getting yelled at for penalties and icings, and then people are changing, and it's like I don't know how you want me to keep track of like these 500 things that are going on with just 2 of us out here, and
pick 3, and I'll focus on those.
Yeah, I don't know. Just nobody wanted to be understanding that day, but
of course,
they're all hockey players.
Yeah. We're all pretty mean at some point.
Just mean
ruthless. Oh yeah, to the refs. Sorry.
I was gonna say I haven't had an encounter with you guys yet where I was like, oh, they're so mean.
No, not that. Just the whole ref thing.
How about that situation you had? It was at the end of last semester, and I think it was Reed's last game. What was it against UWO, where you had 15 guys in the box?
God. Yeah, that was some hilarious videos, but I hate hockey like that. That's so stupid.
It was very entertaining for us to watch, though.
Disregard of personal safety by that team, and it was just, I hated it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was unfortunate. It had to kind of go like that. But
that's all that I care about.
There were a bunch of choice words on my end, but I wasn't on the stream, so I could say whatever I wanted.
Exactly. That's the best place to be.
Yep. I probably swore for you, Logan, at one point.
There you go.
It was, it was an interesting time. I'm glad Reed was there to do it with me, because I was like, I don't even know.
That was a way to go out for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting one, to say the least.
Like 9 different goal scorers or something like that off the top of my head.
Yeah, that was nuts. Yeah, we've been buzzing.
You look like you want to say something.
No, I'm just I'm just trying to hear what he's saying.
Oh.
Am I not being loud?
No, my hearing apparently is worse than Rebecca's, because I can't hear you with headphones on.
You were a little muffled at one point, but I think I got what you were saying.
I'm sorry.
No, you're
I'll
good.
try to be better.
I mean, you have 2 hard of hearing people here, so it probably isn't the best, but
I'm going to just need you to start yelling into the mic. Well, actually, please don't do that, but just...
I've done it before.
Can't confirm.
Oh, boy.
So I'm going to bounce a couple questions off. I don't know if I want to include these or not. So I got some kind of random ones and some school ones. Do you have a preference on which we start with, or no?
Let's get the school over the way and then end on a high note with the random ones to give me some crazy dreams.
Okay. So the first school-related one is, what's one thing or maybe a couple things that you would want to tell anybody who's coming to Lewis for your major, which is exercise movement science, correct?
Yeah. I would first tell them about zlibrary.com. They have all the necessary textbooks from all the best committees, such as ACSM and NSA. And not NSA, that's like a government thing. And NC, whatever, the NASM, yeah, that one. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting on my own tangent. Then I would say take your gen eds early so you're not stuck taking a bunch of really bad classes. And wait to take strength and conditioning until there's not a pandemic. And, yeah, strength and conditioning is the best class.
Is that one that you had labs for, I take it?
Yeah, that's one that, like, you learn. Like, it's not the best class. It's just, like, the class that teaches you the textbook for the CSCS, which is, like, at the end of the major, like, when you can get that. And, like, it's, like, the next step to be a sports trainer. It's, like, the top dog in the training community. So that class is super, super helpful. It's just that I had it during the pandemic.
And I'm sure half of your classes weren't easy taking during the pandemic either.
No, not at all. I remember I stayed down in Florida for a little over a month when COVID happened, and all I had was my iPad, and it's like the 11-inch one. And I remember doing like my biomechanics lab on there, and I was like taking pictures of myself and like downloading all these apps that like measure, and it was tough, but we made it. And I have high honors, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Next question, kind of a more fun school-related one. If you could join another major for a day, and kind of have that.
Aviation.
Okay. Any specific aviation or just aviation in general?
Probably the one specifically flying, specifically labs, not ground. So full-blown flying. Yep. Just flight lab.
Not even broadcasting? Come on now.
I mean, I would probably.
Have you been in an airplane before?
Did you just ask
Flying
if I
it?
have been in an airplane?
Yeah, but flying it though.
I can't say I've ever flown an airplane, no.
I mean, I really didn't do it. I mean, sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Oh my God. My screen went black and I missed it.
Oh,
yeah, Ernie took us up, me and Nick once, and yeah, flew the plane a little bit. Not like really flying it because Ernie, obviously, he's the pilot. But yeah, it's cool.
That does sound fun.
It does, yeah. I think I'd stick to virtual flying though. Like pull out the
I'm
simulator.
baller at that.
You know,
We have a VR headset here,
Oh yes, what kind of VR headset?
an Oculus, like one of the older ones. So
Oh yeah, I love me some VR, dude. VR is where it's at. A little Beat Saber
metaverse.
action.
I've never done that. I've only done really the flying game.
Oh my!
I don't like
gosh.
video games at all, so I like to do like games like flying and Wii Fit. I'm broken. I hate
Flying
video games.
and Wii Fit is what you just
I
said.
don't do like games like that where I'm, not like a video game where it's
Like simulations almost type thing.
yeah, kind of. That's like all of VR though, but it's too gamey. I don't like when it's too gamey.
You don't like when
It's
video
tough.
games are too gamey.
Yeah, I know. It makes no sense. If you live with me for a couple of years, it makes total sense.
I mean, hey, that's fair enough. That's fair enough for me, I guess.
And then last.
What's the next one? Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I don't know if this was something that you kind of thought about when you were looking at Lewis, but how important would you say is the smaller class sizes, kind of getting that more one-on-one feel with professors and classes?
That is like my favorite thing. I love it because my sister goes to the University of Iowa and she like barely knows. I mean, she knows her professors, but like you have like full-blown conversations with them throughout class all the time, and they're all like super knowledgeable and really nice. So I love it. I absolutely love it. I could not do it in a bigger setting.
I wasn't sure if that was only something that I was looking at or not, but I'm glad to know I'm not.
I love it.
It's almost like being back in high school or middle school with these, like the 30 person class.
Yeah.
I have another 30-person class in 5 years.
Well, I mean,
4 years.
You know what I mean, though. 30 person.
Yeah, it's true. I get like 4 or 5. Like my last 2 years have been like 5 to like 10 people at max.
I was going to say that's how a bunch of ours are, too.
Yeah.
It's like 4 people.
I think the most I have in my classes this semester is like 9. So.
Yeah, there's my internship. Actually, it's my internship, so we have a lot, but it's not horrible.
And then moving on to kind of some fun, random, I don't know what you want to call them. What is or was an unwritten rule of where you either currently work or where you used to work?
Where I work?
So, like, what was, like, an unwritten rule kind of where you work? If you had one, at least.
I didn't really know if we had a lot of rules that were written. We didn't really have any unwritten rules. Oh, just don't be a I was gonna say a bad word. Don't be a bully. Not a bully. That's too literal. Don't be a menace. Like, don't bring like fish to the break room.
Don't bring
That's, like,
fish to
written.
the
Yeah,
break
like,
room.
have you ever microwaved, like, fish before and, like, the whole room stunk?
No.
Okay. Never mind.
I mean, I like fish, so I don't really like care that much. But
I don't, so it would have bothered me, but...
Don't be a menace. Words of wisdom from Dylan Parshall right there.
indeed.
And then last question, if you could only have one car accessory on your car, like bumper sticker, car decal, stuff like that, what would you add?
Oh, these are just funny. I mean, I have so many different ones. I'm like one of those people that hates the marathon stickers. Like, nobody cares. Like, not a single person sees that and goes, cool, that guy did it. Nobody. But I would say I really like my M22 salmon sticker. It's got like a bunch of like Michigan stuff on there where my dad lives. So it's nice and it looks cool. I feel like it matches the Jeep. So I like it, and I like fishing a lot. And so year round, have that baby on there. Pretty cool.
I think the only marathon sticker that attracts my attention is when it says 0.0. That's like, I'm like, this guy.
Then I'm
gets
like,
it.
guy, just don't have one. Or girl.
Well, no,
Or
I'm like, this guy gets it. This guy understands me. This
yeah,
is me.
He's pretty much just saying F you to the people that do have it.
Yeah.
But then he's also kind of poking fun at himself or opening himself up to getting made fun of. It's bold, but hey, it works.
Yep. I don't even know how to respond to that. Yep, I agree.
So that's all I had. I don't know if you have any burning questions you want to ask. Any Zach-style questions that will hurt our brains.
Am I going to be able to come on next year if you guys are doing this?
Yeah. I
Word.
plan on doing this a while.
Cool. So, same.
So,
cool.
and I don't really have,
because I'm not going too far.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we do, because like I would like to take this off air at some point, just because then we can have that kind of video factor, and then we can pick the time when we do it, so it's not 9 to 11 every night.
Yeah, for real.
But because I know my friends wanted to move into a house in Lombard, so maybe we'll have our own studio. I have no idea.
Moving into the residence at Lakeside.
I know where that is.
I do not. Kind of do. Driven past it once. They look nice.
Yeah.
They look nice. They got a bowling alley. So.
High quality. Only high quality towns have bowling alleys.
Yeah, for real, right? Like.
The Den took out their bowling alley thing that they had.
Really?
Did you know that?
I'm so glad I don't live that campus.
Well, I mean, I don't live here either, but I mean, that was like the highlight of the Den right there was the bowling.
Oh man, it's like says a lot.
Well, I was there when they broke it. When they like chucked the ball and it went through like the glass that they had there.
Oh, they had like replaced that glass like a bunch of times.
Yeah, but I felt special because I was there and you just killed it.
You witnessed it.
What a bird. Now that's a menace. That's an unwritten rule. Don't throw a freaking bowling ball through a glass.
Yeah,
at a college
for everybody.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do now? The bowling alley's gone.
I'm gonna have to transfer. I'm dropping out. I'm kidding. I'm not going to drop out.
I mean, you're close. I think you should just finish it out.
Oh yeah, no. I'm going to not coast my way through, but I'm definitely going to get as much done as possible in as little like days as possible. So like a couple days a week, do like 8 hours of work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then those last couple weeks will just be.
Exactly. Nothing. Will be nothing. It'll be vacation. Because then I start school, and then you only get 2-week breaks for like 5 years.
Yep.
So, or 3 years. And then the next residency is like full year, 12 months. That's no fun.
Jeez. Well, I'm glad I picked this major. I don't have to do any of that.
We'll be here to have fun with you, Dylan. You can come on the show.
Sweet. Thank you.
It'll be your little relaxing, not school-related thing.
Oh, thank God. I'll just go to Fat Rick's. I'm going to be going there a lot. I can already tell.
Love it.
It's a staple in my diet.
There's a big plot of land. I think they should put a Fat Ricky's in Lombard. 2 houses down from my house. I would live
That
there.
would be electric.
Electric. You heard it here first. That would be electric.
Yeah.
I should do that. I
You
would
already
go there
know.
every day, though, so that would be a problem.
Fat Ricky's
Yeah,
more cute, Oba.
I always get notifications from my, I have like this app that tells you like money. It's like Truebill because I had like 15 subscriptions. And total scam, by the way. They never tell you that you pay a subscription for that. I just found out I was paying subscription for them to tell me that I have subscriptions to cancel. So great business model. Good for them. They got me. And it always tells me that I spend the most money like in food. Like I spend more money at Fat Ricky's than I do on groceries every month.
But it's worth it. It's Fat Ricky's.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. I went there tonight and had BOGO pasta, baby. Monday.
Well, I know where I'm getting dinner every week.
Heyo.
This is just
Way to do
turning
it.
into an ad for Fat Ricky's now.
Every
For real.
show. We
We have
love
to
it.
get sponsored over here.
So good.
We'll just have the entire family on one show.
Oh, that'd be tight.
I can only
Triple J.
imagine.
The whole Ricky family.
Oh, that'd be tight.
Now that would be electric.
That would. That
Bring
would.
it full circle.
Bring it full circle. I'm on that right there. It's a powerful electric.
Well, I'll let you go. I know you have to be at work at an ungodly hour tomorrow morning.
Yeah, no, I got to be up early AF. But, hey, we're going to go get some people healthy. So, healthier people, more healthy. Just like that. That's what I do here.
Gotta love it.
Well, thanks for having me on, too. I appreciate it. This is fun. I always like doing this. Hour flies by so fast.
It does. I know
So-
Reed and I were talking at the Tequila DJ when his brother came on. His brother came on the 5th hour, and we were like, oh, my God, it's already been 5 hours.
Yeah, like that is, it goes by so fast. Good times.
Yes.
Good times.
So we will
Very
let you
good
go.
times
You
indeed.
can go to bed, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna curl up all nice and cozy like.
Well, Dylan, again, I appreciate you letting me be on here too, and letting me call your games, which is always a fun time.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. You're got some big shoes to fill, and you're doing a good job. Doing a good job.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll bring it in the locker room on Friday.
All right, sounds good.
little
I'm
tour.
gonna hold you to that too.
That's
Oh,
right,
yeah,
we're
no,
gonna
I'm
do
a
the
man of my
cat
word.
Scream too.
And the cat
Oh
scream.
yeah,
the cat
that's gonna be
scream in the
hilarious.
locker
I
room.
do that all the time at the house.
I can't say I'm
So.
surprised.
It's gonna be awesome.
But we'll let you
It's
go.
gonna be electric. All right. Well, thank you very much, guys. Again, appreciate it.
Of course. I have no idea, Logan, if you want to go back on after this, but we can figure that out. So this has possibly been the Dump and Chase podcast here on WLRA 88.1 FM, Lewis. Welcome back to the Dump and Chase podcast. Logan and Rebecca still here in the studio. If you missed the last hour, we had Dylan Parshall on. I will plan to get that edited and uploaded by Saturday, just like last semester. But we'll see how that goes.
The always entertaining Dylan Parshall. Again, Rebecca, I talked about it a little bit when we first started, but I haven't gotten to know the team too well, so it's always
chance.
entertaining to hear what they have to say.
Oh, it is a riot, let me tell you.
It's a riot. Yeah, I know. You know what's funny is the first time I ever listened to WLRA was
For our podcast, obviously.
Well, I'm getting there. Indirectly, yes. I mean, so it was Reed was calling a hockey game, and that was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. And then I found out you do all this hockey stuff on the show, and I'm like, these are my people right here, man. You know, this is hockey and radio and all of the above, and that's just get to
all
talk.
Your interest is ball in one.
Exactly. And so yeah, I'm glad. Thank you again for asking me to join you.
Of course.
This Monday evening.
You're welcome anytime.
Thank you. But yeah, I mean, I don't even know how much you know about my hockey past.
I know a little bit because I know we talked. I think it was last semester when we were doing an on ice with Darcy.
Yeah.
We were talking a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was I remember that. That was like the first time I had any like experience with you guys. And secret time, I really thought Reed didn't like me because Reed didn't really talk to me. And so I was like, I don't know if like I did something wrong or like I made him mad or like I really didn't know, what that was. And I've never told him that. Like that first time I really thought he didn't like me. I don't know why. But obviously that's not the case.
No.
But yeah, so that was interesting. And I wish we would have gotten to call some more games together, Reed and I, but
he'll
COVID.
just have to come back.
He will just have to come back. I agree.
It's been decided, Reed. You are coming back.
Yeah, Reed. Yeah, we're gonna have to call some more games together, or they're gonna have to schedule some games out in Pittsburgh, and then we're just gonna
instead of a Carolina
hop in the
showcase,
suitcase.
a Pennsylvania showcase.
Yeah, hop in the suitcase, and they'll just check bags. But yeah, no, I'm just going to tell you about my hockey experience, and then I know you didn't ask, but I'm still just going to tell you anyway. So you can at least halfway know that I know what I'm talking about, kind of. So I started playing hockey when I was 6 years old. 2004 is when I started skating. So I was 6. I started playing later that year, and I've played pretty much ever since then. I've also pretty much been on every side of the ice. Every side of the ice? I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but I've played, I've coached, I've taught people, like taught really little kids how to skate, taught bigger kids how to skate, taught adults how to skate, helped coach my brother's teams, so you get like all the strategy and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I started reffing, and so you get a totally different side of the game right there from the officiating side of things. And then, again, kept playing and stuff, and then now I really just do mostly reffing. But so I've had almost 20 years of hockey experience.
Jeez.
Which is a long time. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's a fun time. And now I'm broadcasting hockey, so I get to – this is like the gamut of things that you can do for a hockey game. So it's definitely a fun time. I will give you that. And then you get to meet, people like you and Reed who love all the same stuff that I like, and that's just like cool.
I got friends now.
I do. Yeah, exactly. Right. Except for Reed. I didn't think, again, Reed didn't like me at first, so I don't know what that was about. But in any case, I guess
that's kind of funny.
He got over that. Or so. I'll have to ask him about that.
Did you hate me when
we what was up with that? He busts out the sweatpants. I'm like, what is this guy doing? He's like skating around. I'm like, he clearly... this has just turned into roast Reed hour, but
yeah, we love it.
I don't know what his, I don't know, but again, it's too bad that we couldn't have been together for some more time. But congrats again
had to graduate
Reed.
Early.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know what I was gonna say. What a guy that guy is. What a guy.
Like I fully understand wanting to get out early, but like.
Yeah, come on, Reed. What the heck?
We still got another semester of hockey left?
We still have one more hockey game for you to come back and call and just start your masters just for that one hockey game. I mean, you got to work with me a little bit here, Reed. We'll Zoom you in. You can call remotely from Pittsburgh. We'll figure out a way to do it.
That would be electric.
That would be electric. Oh man, the words. I'm gonna have to use that. Like if he scores on Friday, I'm gonna have to pull that one out of the bag. This is electric.
Oh, yeah. I think Sharp says that, too. I think that's where he got it from.
Oh, yeah. Again, I don't know any of these people. I don't even know what he sounds like. Like if I passed Sharp in the hallway, I wouldn't even know it was him. Just like, I guess I wasn't talking to you about that earlier, but.
I mean, I know I forget what you had to ask Jake, but I was like, oh, like, Jake's standing over there, like, go talk to him. And you turned around and you're like, there's 5 guys. Who is he?
Yeah.
Like, oh, wait.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I'm going to need you guys to get fully dressed because I have a question for one of you.
And I need to figure out who's who.
Or just wear your jacket with your number on it. That's also an acceptable option.
Yeah, and some of them have, like, the shorts with their number. But like,
Do they? I haven't seen those.
So they all have them. They just don't wear them at games all the time, which would have been helpful. And now with you learning who they are, and 3, 4, however long ago it was when you were trying to learn them.
Yeah, I mean, if Lewis men's hockey is listening, I'm gonna need you guys to just wear the shorts just for me during warm-ups, so then I can call you all by name. And I need to talk to someone about getting me one of those jackets. I like those warm-up jackets.
Reed and I have been trying to get on the list for alternate
how do I get
jerseys.
on this list?
We've asked Mark. We've asked Darcy.
Well, I'm gonna lean on Mark a little bit, I think, and we're gonna get some jackets.
But by the time that I'm done working with them, all I want is an alternate. That's
a jersey you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe I'll just have to say that I'm gonna play, and then I'll just get a jersey, and then be like, yeah. So I'm not medically cleared to play.
My bad. I'm
gonna take this jersey though, and I'm gonna bring it home.
Hang it on the wall.
Hang it on the wall, yeah.
There you go.
So they're playing Notre Dame this weekend.
If I'm remembering correctly, it's their D3 team.
Oh.
I think. Let me see if the ACHA website will work for me.
Yeah. So first of all, the Lewis ACHA website, I've had exceptional choice words for it. Because the ACHA website is just not consistent from team to team, which is very annoying from a broadcaster standpoint, especially when you're trying to get accurate rosters and numbers for other teams. So I can know who I need to call, or like not who I need to call, but what names I need to say.
Yeah, names and numbers.
Yeah. So, the least you could do would be provide an accurate list of numbers and names. And so I don't know if I told you this, but last week I emailed the coach, or I'm sure I told you this, but
yeah, it sounds vaguely familiar.
He sends me a list of 30 names and 4 goalies, and
or dressing all of them.
Yeah, and they're like, well, they can't dress all of them. First of all, they can. So apparently, I learned this over the weekend. They can warm up with as many players as they want, but they can only dress 19 skaters and 3 goalies for the game. So they literally could have dressed 30 guys for just the warm-ups, and then they would have had to undress through 11 guys, which would have been interesting in itself. But anyway, they're playing Notre Dame this weekend.
Yeah, it is their D3 team.
It is their D3. How many teams do they have? Does it say? Well, I guess you probably can't see it on that website, huh?
No, I'm assuming they have one at like every division.
I know. So I know their their big time team is the NCAA team.
Yeah.
And so, funny story about that is that one time we're like, oh yeah, let's go see this Notre Dame hockey game, and they're like probably hour and a half, 2 hours away at least, with no traffic, and we're going there on like a Friday or something, so it's like
you're hitting
rush hour, and so we're like, all right, the game starts at 7. We leave, I don't know, probably we left so early. It was so early. And we're like, all right, we're getting there at 6. We pull in and we're like, all right, we're an hour early. And they have this beautiful Compton Family Ice Arena. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's like
pictures,
it is absolutely as nice as a college hockey rink that you could ask for. I mean, it has fans all the way around. I guess it's remodeled. I haven't been there since it was remodeled, but so it's even nicer now. It's under the statue what touchdown Jesus, I think they call it, for the so you can see that it's like it's absolutely beautiful when you go there. So we go there, we go up they have this huge staircase, go up the big staircase, go into the doors, and the way it used to be is you could go in there and there's like metal detectors and stuff. So we're in there and we're listening. You can't see the ice because there's like, you go up a couple more stairs and then it drops down, and then that's kind of where it is. Like it's not like an NHL arena, so there's no wall there, so it's like all open. So we like go in there and we're just listening, and we're like, what? They're playing the national anthem, and this is 6:00. We're like, something's not right here. We're like, what? We're like getting here an hour early. We're going to get some hot dogs and nachos and go sit down and have a good time. Enjoy the game. And so we get up there. They're singing the national anthem. We're like, what is going on? Like, why are they starting an hour early? This is weird. And so we get to the seats, and we're like, we're in Indiana. This is a different time zone.
Ooh.
So we didn't even realize that they're not even on our time. And so we thought we were getting there an hour early. It's not the greatest story, but we thought we were getting there an hour early, and we're showing up right on time. I think that was pretty funny. And that's all that story is.
I mean, at least you got there right at puck drop pretty much, instead of getting there and it's like 10 minutes left in like the third period.
Yeah. I mean, a good thing we thought we were an hour early. I mean, imagine if we were showing up right at 7. They would have been an hour into the game, and we just drove 3 hours to get there.
Yeah. Okay, guys, let's get back in the car.
Yeah, all right, time to go back home and drive another 3.5 hours on the way home. Absolutely ridiculous. But they also host like a lot of youth tournaments there. I think my brother played in a couple. I never got to play there, but I think it's a pretty I know I really missed out. It's a pretty interesting ice rink, I think. I know some people that have reffed their NCAA games. Mm-hmm. So again, it's as Parshall would say, an electric atmosphere over at the Compton Family Ice Arena.
Well, especially just with it being Notre Dame.
Yeah, they bring the band and stuff. That was my first experience with a band at a hockey game, which is an interesting vibe in itself.
I don't think I've ever been to a hockey game where there's a band.
Yeah, and so, yeah, that was actually not the only time. One time I was playing in a hockey game. It was the other team's senior night, and so they brought their high school marching band to play. It was real weird. And they had like all these kids, and we ended up beating them, and it was hilarious. But
ooh. I can see like the marching band for like a senior night football game. I can't really picture it for a hockey game.
Some people are really into hockey, as you well know.
I would assume, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Wheaton College is obviously in Wheaton, and they're another I think they're D3 ACHA program. And they're all super into hockey there. Like, that is like the thing to do, is go to the hockey game. So they sell out and have like 200, 300 people at every game, students that go absolutely bananas for this hockey team, this D3 ACHA hockey team, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, if we could get 200, 300 people at Canlan, that would be electric. That would be electric, is what it would be.
Gotta get Dave Livingston in there, and he'll bring a big crowd of people.
Yeah, he always has people with him. He's got his people.
I was gonna say, I don't think I've ever seen him alone. He's always had at least 2 other people with him. Yeah,
he's the president. That's how the president rolls, Rebecca. The president just rolls with other people. But yeah. I don't know what else to say. Oops.
Making noise over there.
Yeah, so they have the playoffs then are like in, not that the Flyers didn't make the playoffs, unfortunately, but
Next year.
And how many seniors do we have on the team? Do you know this off the top of your head?
True seniors 3. It's Gore, Bishop, and Darcy.
What about Parshall?
So he's a 5th year.
Okay, what about who are we losing this year?
This year, so those 3, unless they 5th year. I heard rumors that Gore is 5th year. I haven't heard it from him yet.
Not from the source.
Not from the source.
Right.
So those 3, Parshall, Justin Caricato, and Matt Sharp. Because Ernie already left.
Okay. So we need to do some heavy recruiting, is what you're saying.
Yes. On both the broadcasting end and
yeah, I didn't. You know what? I didn't even think about that.
Because like after next December, you and Cam will be gone.
Yeah, Cam's gonna be. Well, the broadcasting department as a whole is going to be
Gone.
losing everybody. Carl graduates in the spring here, and then
Haley graduates too, right?
Haley graduates too. Logan, Tony will be here. He's going to be like the only guy though. So Logan, Cody, Cam, Samara. I guess pretty much everyone graduates in the fall. There's a lot of fall graduations, so I don't know. We'll just get Tony on it.
Yeah.
Tony's an intro. You've met Tony?
Once or twice, yeah. I don't think I've had like an in-depth conversation with him.
Oh, you're missing out on DJ Champion over here. He's a riot, man.
I'm gonna have to tune into your show on Wednesday.
Yeah, he just likes to talk about football, and he knows that it really bothers me when he talks about football. So then
he has to do it.
He'll say something, and then he'll like look at me, and then I just like give him the business on the back end. You know, again, because I just provide entertainment value when there's no hockey talk being had. I'm pretty much useless if we're not talking about hockey. So not that we've been talking about hockey a whole lot right now, but
to that.
Yeah.
Because when we first started doing the show, it was me, Reed, and then Jake, who I don't think you've ever met him because he graduated. And Jake would just go off on rants about like football or wrestling, and Reed and I would kind of just sit there like, okay.
About wrestling.
He's big into wrestling. I don't know. I've never been into wrestling, so.
I'm not even going to talk about wrestling. I used to be into wrestling, but not anymore. Now I'm a grown-up who doesn't watch wrestling. Now I watch hockey like an adult.
Oh, man.
No, an adult. I also hold the microphone like a man, though. Did you see that? Was I having that discussion with you? We did the news from the gym today, which I'm sure I mentioned to you.
I saw a clip of it on, I think it was LUTN's social media. I didn't get to watch the actual broadcast, but
yeah. So I did sports recap, and from the gym, and I made sure to hold the microphone like
firmly
grasp it because I looked like I was drinking a cup of English tea, and I can't believe nobody said anything. That's the part that bothers me, is you guys just let me stand there and look like an idiot holding the microphone like a cup of tea.
I didn't notice until like rewatching the game afterwards.
You're like, what is with this kid? He's like,
I was looking at the screen. I'm like, something seems off.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if it was just like me, so I'm like looking around. I'm like is the camera cutting off somewhere? The graphic not centered.
No, it was just me being an idiot holding the microphone like I'm drinking a fine cup of English tea, and that just was not going to fly with me. So now every time I have to remind myself to firmly grasp it and not drop it. Be like Squidward.
Yeah.
Firmly grasp it. And I would appreciate the reminder, too. Cody does not hesitate to remind me every time that I have a microphone that I need to grab it with my whole hand.
Well, so the problem is usually during warm-ups when you're talking with the handheld, I'm not up there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to make sure to like either tell Cam to look or just kind of like peek up and be like, hey, Logan, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing, bud? You look like a fool up there.
You're not drinking tea. You're holding a mic.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh man.
I'll just get the entire team to look up and just start yelling at
them. Or they'll be like, they'll just all start making fun of me. Like they'll hold their stick like with two fingers and like.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. Not gonna lie.
At that point, I think I would just have to just leave. I don't think I couldn't even broadcast that day. I would just leave or just wear the headset and just because apparently, Mark, when I went to interview him this past game, was like, "Why aren't you wearing the headset?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Reed never wore it.
I'm like, Reed. Like I watched a game from like 2 years ago that Reed wore a headset when he interviewed him.
I think it was just that one though.
Yeah, I'm like
I thought it looked more professional with like. In a sense, more professional with the handheld. Yeah,
and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like Reed, in every game that I did with him, he never used the headsets for the pregame spiel.
Yep.
And so I don't know where Mark, like, if he just spaced out for a minute or what was going on, but I don't know what. Yeah, it was very strange. I'd like to. In an ideal world, we could get a headset down to the bench and then like do an in-between interview, like in-between period interview.
We did that once. It wasn't with the headset. It was with the handheld. We called it Parshall's Corner because he talked about wanting to have a radio show called that. So during, I think it was the first intermission, Reed went down there, grabbed him. No idea what they talked about. I don't remember. But then the season got cut off, so we only did the one episode.
Oh. Yeah.
Or episode.
But in professional broadcasts, they all wear the goofy headset, and I think that's hilarious.
I mean, I'm sure there's a way to get it down there.
Yeah, you need just like a long. You need a long XLR cable and a long 1/4-inch jack cable. But it would be even cooler if we were on the rink 3 to like behind where we normally are. Mm-hmm. Because then you could have the camera zoomed all the way in on them across the ice, but then you couldn't. It would not be feasible to have a cable go all the way around the rink.
Yeah.
So at that point, you'd almost need like a wireless apparatus, which we don't have. So that
probably couldn't afford.
Probably wouldn't work. So yeah, like I said, we have all these ideas.
We just gotta figure out a way to get
get some funding. Yeah, Cam and I were already discussing on ice projection for next year, so we're gonna start. Fundraising for the on ice projectors at Canlan Ice Sports, and I know Brooks would be all about that. Brooks would be like, "Whatever you want to do, man. Whatever."
Don't question it.
Don't question it. No.
Let us do our thing.
Yeah, I'm like,
we'll bring in more fans.
We'll bring people in. Okay, that's what we're here to do. We're here to drum up some business for you.
And then other teams will see it, and then they'll want to play on that rink, and then you'll just get more money.
Yeah, that's how that works.
It's just a win situation.
You guys just bought all these nice new electric Zambonis.
I did notice that.
And which they're not even using. They're just like next to the rink, which is fine, I guess. I like new stuff though, so maybe we could get the logo on the Zamboni.
Reed and I have talked about that. We're like, we want the logo on, not center ice, but like just on the ice somewhere.
I think they charge an absurd amount of money for that.
Okay, so maybe not on the ice. We talked about the Zamboni, and then I think we had talked about like on the board somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't remember. If
the boards would probably be feasible again, but all that stuff comes down to just money. I mean, that's the only drawback with that. But I had a Zamboni a couple weeks ago when I was roughing it, just broke down, and then they busted out the secondary Zamboni, also known as the Hamboni, which was the Rockford Ice Hogs old Zamboni. And it said, instead of saying Zamboni on the front, it says Hamboni, and I thought that was absolutely hilarious because it is.
Did Reed or I ever tell you about what happened when we traveled with the team to Marion?
No.
So the second game we get there, everything's going fine. So the first Zamboni broke, like one of the belts or something broke.
It just broke.
Yeah, I haven't.
And just straight up broke.
I was just there, just minding my camera.
Fair enough.
So then they get the second one, and that one breaks.
You break 2 Zambonis,
Yes.
a 2-for-1 deal.
Exactly.
Okay.
So they warmed up on rough ice. I'm pretty sure they played the first period on rough ice, just trying to figure out the Zamboni situation. So they actually had to put a tractor engine in one of the Zambonis.
What?
And that's how they got it to run.
What the heck? What kind of operation are we running here over it? To put a tractor engine in the that's interesting. They should have just brought the hose out, brought back the hosers from.
Yeah. Well, because we were standing so Reed and I were standing with coaches trying to figure out are we gonna have a game? Are we gonna just reschedule it? Are we just gonna cancel it altogether? What are we doing? And I think coach had left, and he was walking by, and he's like, "They're getting a tractor." And we're like,
wait, it was a tractor?
No, so
or
they
just
took
the engine?
they took the engine out and put it, but all he told us was a tractor. So we're like, are you bringing a tractor on the ice?
Yeah.
What's happening? So that was a trip.
Yeah. And where do they play at?
I don't
I don't even know where Marion is.
Fond du Lac, one of the two.
Wisconsin?
Yes.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I don't know any rinks in Wisconsin, so I guess it's not even worth looking it up. But that's an interesting point, because what I was told was, number one, that we couldn't cancel the game because of a lack of Zamboni. We would just have to play
the entire game
the
on
entire
rough ice?
game. And because apparently they used to just play all day, and then at night they would just hose it down. This is news to me. Again, I'm just relaying what information was given to me by someone on the board of directors of the Illinois Hockey Officiating Association.
All right.
Said that we're not within our right to cancel the game because of that, but I just found that kind of interesting. But again,
that is news to me.
Whatever
And
floats
that
their
does
boat,
not
I guess.
sound
I don't
fun
know.
either.
No, it doesn't. And I wasn't about to skate on an ice that just had a whole game played on it.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I haven't skated in a while, but I know that would suck.
Yeah, I mean that's to put it lightly. But yeah, ice is, and then all these outdoor games that are getting canceled because of the bad weather. I don't know if you've ever skated on an outdoor rink. Number one,
not.
the ice is absolutely terrible just to begin with, and number two, it's cold. I mean, it's just cold, and more. I mean, it's the coldest I've ever been while refereeing a hockey game is outside. Don't ref outside hockey games anymore just because it's too darn cold. Yeah. But yeah, so all that ice, and then it's always sometimes they have a cone out there while you're playing because the ice is bad. You've never seen that over at the Rosemont outdoor rink by where the Wolves play,
Mm-hmm.
There's an outdoor ice rink that they have a lot of games at. They actually have a couple college games out there, not Lewis for some reason, but ISU played Iowa State over there for some reason. I have it's just some random games. I don't know why ISU is coming all the way up here, but they have a cone out on the ice for a college game just because there's a big old hole. Yeah, you should avoid that. Oh, okay. Thank you, cone. I'm glad you're out here to
doing your work.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I cannot say that I've seen a cone
outside
of drills and practices for stuff, but not during a game.
Yeah, I mean, how can you play a game? How can you justify playing a game with a cone on the ice? That's
I don't know if you can
ridiculous.
At that point.
Well, I mean, they do it, so I've seen it done. But yeah, it's just it's an extra added.
It's a little obstacle course.
Obstacle, yeah.
Jeez.
But yeah, I don't know.
And that's why I played indoor sports.
There you go.
On hardwood floor.
Yes, I don't blame you. Indoor sport, yeah. Even indoor hockey, though, the ice can sometimes be bad depending on the weather outside.
Yeah.
if it's too humid or too hot, it might be soft ice, and then it's like a whole thing.
It's just slush.
Well, not slush necessarily, but it might be foggy. Like there was a one of the New York games, like a playoff game, was just, it was so humid. There was just literally fog on the ice. You watch these guys. I mean, they're playing probably like playoff game 6 or 7 hockey, just and they can't see 5 feet in front of them because it's just all fog. And it's like, well, I guess you got to do what you got to do, right?
I mean, you can't necessarily cancel or reschedule a playoff game.
Right. And so you can. So the way the NHL rule is, not to go off on another tangent, but the NHL rule says if you have to cancel a playoff game for whatever reason, the way it's written is even if you have to cancel it halfway through or whatever, if you have to stop playing or not playing, the game will be replayed in its entirety at the end of the series if necessary. So if you go to game 7, so let's say you cancel game 2 halfway through.
Okay.
And you go to 7 games, but you're still tied 3-3, then you would replay that whole game 2 in entirety, which is unfortunate because if one team's winning, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
You just have to play again. Right. And so that, I don't remember the exact situation that happened, but that has happened once. And then I think the team that was not winning in that game, I don't remember why they had to cancel it, but they canceled it like halfway through. The losing team ended up winning the series then. And so that was a whole thing. But again, just some weird rules, and I don't know why I know all these weird rules, but hey, whatever.
I know next to nothing about rules. So there we go.
Well, that's my job, is to know the whole rule book.
And you have the rule book, too.
I do, and I was very proud of my prop, and I tell everyone about it. They're like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm like, this was supposed to be way cooler than I thought it was. I thought this was like the coolest thing in the world. And
well, when you first pulled it out, I was like, why?
You're like, because Patty, it is a prop, and it brings up the entertainment value.
Well, I didn't know you were gonna use it as a prop because you kind of just like took it out and like, because we were unpacking at that point, so you just took it out and put it on the table, and I'm like, why do you have a rule book with you?
Because you never know when you're gonna need to look up a rule.
Just run down and be like, hey refs, I think you got it a little wrong.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't tell them that in the middle of the game. I'd probably bring it up after the fact and be like, well, okay, according to Rule 43.6, subsection B, you were incorrect. And that's what I have to say about that. But, I mean, I don't want to. I try really hard not to criticize the refereeing because 90% of the people, I already know who they are. And so I don't want to, like, step on their toes. So I give them a shout out. If I know them, I'll be like, oh, there's referee Brad Baumrock with that call. And, yeah. So, I don't know. It's always interesting.
Now, the question is the rule book going to make an appearance during senior night? I
don't know. I mean, the senior night is going to be its own thing. So, I don't know if it would be appropriate to. I already brought it out once. And I feel like that's not something you can just bring out every game. I can tell you this, though. If there's a situation in the game where I have to look up a rule, I will be prepared and with the rule reference number. And you know what? I will sound like a genius, like Eddie Olczyk. I will sound like an absolute genius, and people will think that I really know what I'm talking about.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, I mean, that's Eddie Olczyk has done it for this long, right?
Yeah. A little bit different of a career path, I take it, but...
Yeah, so I just need to play in the NHL and then just pretend to know a lot about hockey, and then I could call games in the NHL.
There you go.
Career Path 101 from Eddie Olczyk.
Eddie Olczyk Jr. over here.
Eddie Olczyk Jr., though, I don't know if you've ever heard him call a game. He sounds just like his dad. It's almost like creepy. Like, it's so similar. Like, you really have to listen and be like, this is not Eddie. This is Junior.
Who is this?
Yeah. An imposter. But all right, I think that'll do it for me today.
That'll do it for episode 1.
Episode 1 of my
episode
career. I don't know what episode you're on.
That is a great question. I have no idea. I probably should have looked that up.
These are facts that you should know before we start recording. I feel this is no. You know what? It doesn't matter. This is season 2, episode 1.
This is still season 3.
Okay.
So this would be season.
This
3
is 3.5. This is season 3.5, episode 1. Is this season 3?
Yeah. Well, so we just do each, because we started obviously season 1 was just the first season that we worked with them. So since we started doing the show, we just each individual season is just a new season of the show. So we're
I like season 3.5 though.
Season 3.5. Season 3.5 episode.
According to Logan, anyway.
I'll put that in the title. I don't care.
Oh, jeez. No, you don't have to do that. But I had fun. I think I'll definitely be back next week if you'll have me back.
You can join every week if you would like.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see how tired I am, but this is a fun time.
You got a long day.
Yeah. So, all right, it was fun.
It was fun. Hopefully we'll see you next week with whoever I can get. We'll texted like 7 guys. We'll see.
We'll get someone. It's always entertaining here on the Dumb and Chase podcast.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It may just have to schedule a guy the day before, but there will be someone.
It doesn't matter. I could just ramble on again for 2 hours. I mean, I'm sure that'll.
You could.
If nothing else, we'll get somebody. I could I can bring in a couple referees. We could have a real good time.
Ooh.
Whatever you want. We'll just have to. We'll talk about it. But
we'll figure out. Somebody will be here. We will have a show. There will be somebody on.
Somebody will be here. That's all that matters.
So stay tuned to figure out who. Here on the Dump and Chase podcast on WLRA 88.1 FM, Lewis University in Romeoville.